Picture this: a world where words can't wound you, where criticism rolls off like rain on a leaf, where manipulation falters and fear finds no foothold. Imagine standing unshaken, your mind a fortress of clarity, while others crumble under pressure or sway to unseen strings. This isn't a fantasy. It's the power of a mentally untouchable mind. Carl Jung, the brilliant Swiss psychiatrist, unlocked the secret to this extraordinary resilience through a process called shadow integration. Join us on a journey into the hidden depths of the psyche, where embracing your darkest truths forges an unbreakable spirit. Ready to discover how to become psychologically invincible? Let's dive in. These rare individuals stand apart. Criticism glides past them like a breeze. Manipulation falters in their presence. Social pressures fail to shake their core. They hold steady where others falter, radiating a psychological strength that feels almost otherworldly. What's their secret? Are they born with an unbreakable mind? Do they feel less than the rest of us? Or have they unlocked a hidden truth about the human psyche that most never dared to explore? Carl Jung, the visionary Swiss psychiatrist, uncovered a path to this unshakable resilience, a path he called shadow integration. It's a radical, transformative process that forges what we might call a mentally untouchable mind, Jung's blueprint for the unseen self. To grasp how shadow integration creates such profound strength, we must first understand Jung's concept of the shadow. Far more than a collection of flaws, the shadow is the unconscious realm of everything you've pushed away. Your weaknesses, instincts, and traits you refuse to claim. Jung described it as the counter-identity to the self you present to the world. Everyone carries a shadow, he wrote, and the less it is embraced, the darker and denser it grows. This is a critical insight. The shadow isn't just a passive repository of shame. It's a living force, growing stronger the more you deny it. The more you cling to being good, the more your shadow harbors cruelty. The more you pride yourself on rationality, the wilder your unconscious irrationality becomes. Those who see themselves as flawless carry the heaviest shadows of all. The shadow forms as we grow, shaped by what we learn to reject. As children, we hide the parts of ourselves that invite disapproval, banishing them to the unconscious. This isn't a flaw. It's how we become who we are. The danger lies not in having a shadow, but in ignoring it. Jung warned, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate." This ignorance is the root of psychological vulnerability. When you're unaware of your shadow, it controls you. It sparks irrational outbursts, fuels self-destructive patterns, and creates blind spots others can exploit. It's the reason a single word, like weak or selfish, can unravel someone's composure. Those who know your shadow hold the keys to your reactions, manipulating you with ease. How the shadow pulls your strings. Jung identified projection as the shadow's primary weapon. Through projection, you see your disowned traits in others, reacting not to reality, but to your own unconscious. The greed you've rejected in yourself becomes the greed you condemn in your neighbor. The fear you've buried becomes the weakness you attack in others. These projections aren't just distortions, they're hooks. Others can tug at them to provoke you, cloud your judgment, or bend your will. Think of how this plays out. In an argument, you don't hear your opponent's words. You hear the shadow you've projected onto them. In love, you don't see your partner clearly, but a reflection of your disowned desires. In debates, you fight not ideas, but the fears you've cast onto your rivals. This is why the unintegrated shadow makes you so easy to manipulate. Trigger a projection, and your emotions take over. You react to ghosts, not reality. Curious to dive deeper into this path to invincibility? Hit subscribe now. The liberated mind, breaking free. Now imagine someone who's integrated their shadow. They see projections for what they are, mirrors of their own unconscious. When attacked, they don't flinch because they've already faced the truths others try to weaponize. Call them weak, and they nod, knowing their strength includes vulnerability. Accuse them of selfishness, and they smile, aware of their human desires. These individuals aren't defending a fragile self-image. They're grounded in a fuller truth. This is the first pillar of mental untouchability. Freedom from manipulation through projection, the paradox of strength. Jung's approach flips conventional wisdom on its head. True strength doesn't come from denying flaws, but from embracing them. The acceptance of oneself is the essence of the moral problem, Jung wrote. Unlike shallow affirmations or positive thinking, which prop up the ego while ignoring the shadow, Jung's path demands radical honesty. To become untouchable, you must confront the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime avoiding, your capacity for cruelty, cowardice, or chaos. This is why the most resilient people often speak openly of their flaws. They're not wallowing in self-doubt. They're disarming their shadow's power. When you've acknowledged your potential for darkness, no one can use it against you. Shame loses its sting when you've already faced what you're ashamed of. Fear of exposure vanishes when you've exposed yourself to yourself. Jung put it starkly. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. By owning your contradictions, you rob the world of its power to destabilize you. The path to mental untouchability. Jung didn't just theorize. He mapped a practical path to shadow integration, a process we'll call Jung's Code for the untouchable mind. Here's how it works. Shadow recognition. Begin by noticing what sets you off. What qualities in others spark outrage or disgust? What accusations make your blood boil? Jung believed these reactions point directly to your shadow. If someone's dishonesty infuriates you, explore where dishonesty lives in you. If you loathe arrogance, consider your own moments of pride. Dreams, too, can reveal shadow content. Pay attention to the figures that unsettle you in sleep. This isn't about guilt. It's about discovery. Step 2. Shadow acceptance. Once you've identified shadow traits, accept them as part of your humanity. This doesn't mean indulging destructive impulses. It means recognizing them as real. There is no light without shadow, Jung wrote. To deny your flaws is to deny your wholeness. When you stop fighting your darker capacities, they lose their grip. You stop projecting them outward, and accusations no longer hit raw nerves. You see the world more clearly, unclouded by unconscious distortions. Step 3. Shadow integration. Finally, weave your shadow into your conscious self in constructive ways. The anger you've suppressed can fuel courage. The selfishness you've rejected can become healthy boundaries. The chaos you've feared can spark creativity. Integration transforms your shadow from a saboteur into a source of strength. It's not about erasing flaws, but channeling their energy. This creates a psyche so whole that manipulation finds no foothold. Your triggers have been dismantled. Living the untouchable life shadow integration reshapes every corner of your existence. In relationships, you no longer project old wounds onto loved ones, fostering deeper connection. Criticism becomes a chance to grow, not a threat to your ego. In work, You sidestep office games and power plays, unshaken by attempts to undermine you. In public life, you see through divisive rhetoric, staying clear-headed where others are swayed by emotion. This isn't about becoming cold or detached. The untouchable mind feels deeply, but isn't ruled by feeling. It's sensitive yet unswayable, human yet unshakable. To others, this resilience seems almost magical. You stay calm when chaos erupts. You speak truths others shy from. You see reality while others are lost in projection. Jung called this individuation, the journey to psychological wholeness. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, he wrote, but by integration of the contraries. The power of the whole self. Jung's code reveals a profound truth. Invincibility comes not from stronger walls, but from needing no walls at all. When your shadow is integrated, attacks lose their sting. Triggers fail to ignite. Manipulation falls flat. You're not untouchable because you're impervious to pain. You're untouchable because you've already faced the pain most spend their lives fleeing. This journey isn't easy. It demands courage to confront what you've denied, humility to accept what you've rejected, and wisdom to transform what you feared. But the reward is unparalleled. A mind free from the chains of unconscious control. In a world where most are puppets to their shadows, the integrated soul stands as a beacon of resilience, a mind that cannot be touched, not because it's superhuman, but because it's fully, fearlessly human. You hold the key to a liberated mind. Step into the shadows, not to dwell in darkness, but to bring it into the light. Begin today. Notice what stirs you. Question what you project, and embrace the whole of who you are. As Jung reminds us, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Dare to face your depths, and you'll rise untouchable, a soul unshaken.